Okay, so today we're gonna have a little bit better look at my 55 Ford F100 pickup that is listed on bringatrailer.com. I'll just give you a little bit better idea of some of the features about the truck. I purchased it about 8 or 9 months ago from a family. It was an estate. The gentleman that put it together had passed away, and the truck still had, some refinements and whatnot to be done on it. The wiring wasn't done very well. I didn't really care for how the brake lines and whatnot were kind of run and pieced together. But basically the truck was put together from a gentleman who was pretty good with fabricating. They started with a Gen 2, I think it was a 74 Camaro, using the front snout. And then they fabricated the back end of a S10 Chevy pickup chassis. And they were able to, make a nice chassis setup for the truck. They did a real nice job laying up the body on the chassis. It sits nice, as you can see. I'll back up a little bit, give you a little bit better look. The truck, it presents well. It was fabricated properly. The front end geometry was not really up to my liking at the time when I went to do a proper front end alignment on it. We couldn't really get the numbers that we wanted, so I installed a set of fully adjustable upper control arms, as you can see here. And we were able to get the front end really straight. The truck goes down the road really nice. It's not squirrely, it doesn't wiggle. It was built with the back tilting hood, which functions really nice. It opens and closes real good. It's got a Chevy Generation 1, so it'd be a 70s 350 small block engine. I was told by the family it was overhauled and bored 30 thousandths over. It obviously has a performance camshaft in it, as I'll show you in a minute when I start it up. It's got an Edelbrock Performer chrome aluminum intake, Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor with an electric choke, a PowerFire aftermarket high energy distributor. As you can see, the firewall was stepped back to accommodate the distributor and the different size of the engine. Power disc brakes from a Gen 1 Camaro, basically stock GM calipers and rotors. American racing wheels, 15-inch as listed. And I'll go ahead, the door handles were shaved, and it was installed with remote control. It's got remote door pops. Push the button, lets you in the door. There's also a box just under the running board over here with another pop box, and there's a mechanical release inside the front wheel well in case all else fails. The dashboard was obviously all painted. The truck was painted by the owner in his at-home shop. He's got plenty of material on the truck. It shines beautifully. There's a small bubble in the dashboard. You can kind of see it right here. And then there's another small bubble in the hood, I believe, right here. You really gotta kind of look to see it. The louver job on the hood was done by an old school hot rod guy with a set of dies that he used to do a lot of 50 style hot rods, the real deal kind of stuff. They're not 100% perfect. Again, they're all done by hand. Front roll pan. Walk around this side here, give you a little bit better look. As said in the listing, I rewired the entire truck with a American Auto Wire wiring harness kit. I would highly recommend using them if you're not familiar with them. Really top-notch stuff. I mounted the fuse box and the power panels on the passenger side just to kind of not clutter up the dashboard. As you can see, you got your maxi fuses, 15 circuits, built-in flasher that will run LEDs. And in this case, the truck does have an LED third brake light, and it's got LED taillights, all new oak planks in the bed, and they did small mini wheel tubs because it's got a narrowed 10-bolt Camaro rear end in it that they had a set of hardened axles made for. I'm not 100% sure of the gear ratio. It's either 355s or 373s. I haven't had the cover off. He installed this. It's a pre-war car rumble seat trunk that was painted to kind of match the truck. It's got a little bit of wave in the top of it. I guess it's old enough to kind of have its own personality, but kind of makes for a neat little storage spot. Sliding rear window and Camaro tilt steering wheel. B&M ratcheting reverse lockout shifter. And I'll give you a cold start up. Once to the floor, set the electric choke. It's got Series 40 Flowmaster mufflers on it. It's got a really great sound. Bearing in mind, you're going to see a little steam. We are in New England, and it's about 19 degrees out right now, so it's a bit chilly. Give you a good look at the engine while it's running. Being pretty familiar with this engine package, I've had several of these Gen 1 small blocks with this type of camshaft and in a 4-barrel. It's probably about a 325 to 350 horse engine. I would say I haven't seen the inside of it myself, and I don't know who did the engine work, but it kind of runs like a 9.5 or a 10-to-1 compression type engine. It runs fine on 89 fuel. It's just a real nice gentleman's hot rod. It makes a really good amount of power, but you don't have to work on it for 3 days every time you drive it. So with that in consideration, we'll take you for a quick spin down the road and wrap it up. Camshaft's got a nice little rumble to it. Good idle. So we'll take you for a little spin down the road. As I said, the shifter is it's a reverse lockout shifter for anybody who may not be familiar with it. They're pretty common in drag racing type situations. Being in first gear right now, slap it second gear, third gear, neutral, but you cannot go to reverse. Lift up, and then go to reverse, something like that. So transmission shifts nice and firm without banging. I had the gentleman who did the transmission over for me do it with a nice streetable type shift kit in it. I put a nice mild 2600 RPM stall speed converter, B&M whole shot. And it works out real good with this engine. They like it. As you can see, no hands on the steering wheel. Truck goes down the road like a brand new car. Really, really nice driving hot rod. Speedometer obviously is not correct. The gear hasn't obviously been matched to the gear ratio. 2,500 RPMs, probably going about probably 45 or 50 miles an hour. Noise inside the cab's not too bad. Kind of mellows out a little bit once you get going. Barks pretty good when you want to get on it. Goes back down nicely. Carburetor's jetted properly. No popping and backfiring. Here to turn around. I'm going to take off in first gear now. Bring up the RPMs. Just give you a little idea how she handles under a little bit of pressure. I don't really push her much harder than that, although she's obviously built to take it. So I don't know if you have any other questions when the listing is up. You can just shoot them off, and I'll try to be as specific as possible with you. But happy bidding, and good luck. Whoever gets this one's going to buy themselves a nice little truck.